Coming up on the pod, we have Cannabis Keenan back in studios. We discuss Matt Gaetz, Miss Piggy, Lil Nas X, and the dark detective comedy, Canadian comedy, The Kid Detective.
If you want a movie review, look no further than these dudes. You got Real Buzz Rob on the mic, you got Cannabis Keenan, he's alright. Caitlin is giving all she can give, and Calvin doesn't even know where he is. This is Real Buzz Takes with the Real Buzz crew.
Welcome to another edition of Real Buzz Takes. Today we are the Real Buzz 2. I'm Real Buzzed Rob.
Built that myself. Like to see that red, blue, green cocksucker put one of those together, duct taping it.
And to my left we have Keenan, a.k.a. Keenan the Cannibal, a.k.a. Cannabis Keenan, a.k.a. Keenan the Barbarian, Keenan Robertson.
Hey, Scott, guess what?
What? I hate you more than ever, Tanson Phillip. I absolutely abhor you both.
You're a dick.
You're a dick, Scott.
I'm a dick because you're a madman dick. Buona ziua, Romania.
Why guys always call me Ugly Bob? Because you're so goddamn ugly, Ugly Bob.
But then he gets with Celine Dion, right?
Yes, Elaine Dion.
And have some craft dinner.
Say, Terence, I was just about to make some craft dinner. Would you like some?
You know I never turn down craft dinner, Philip.
You had it ready to go. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I figured today's theme would be Canadian drops.
Oh, okay. I was trying to find the theme there. That makes sense to me.
The first drop was Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys.
Yep, I recognize that.
Oh, cocksucker.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good looking fucking kitty right there.
That's a fucking kitty, man.
Fucking way she goes, he says.
Jesus, Murphy wreck.
Good show.
All right, so let's get right into the Real Buzzed current affairs. If I can find the right drop. God damn it happens every time. You know, I always eat craft dinner.
That should always be the end of the Real Buzz current affairs music. Philip, you know, I always eat craft dinner.
I love craft dinner. Celine Dion. First Real Buzz current affair we'd like to talk about Matt Gaetz. Matt, I believe it's being dubbed Gaetzgate, which fits.
Whatever.
I like it.
Gaetzgate, that's stupid.
Matt Gaetz is
they could have done better.
United States congressman from the state of Florida who represents, he's a Republican Party, and is being accused of violating federal child sex trafficking laws for allegedly having sexual relations with an underage girl and then paying for her to travel with him as he did those things. A lot of other allegations in regards to women he bragged about to his colleagues in Congress. One of his good friends is now in federal prison for sex trafficking. Doesn't look good for Gaetz.
Doesn't look good for Gaetz, no. It doesn't sound good for Gaetz, to be honest with you.
His story is he alleges that someone in the Justice Department tried to extort his father for the tune of $25 million to make these accusations go away. I guess at some point he was promised a presidential pardon if the money was paid because the story was going to come out. So,
pardon from Trump or from Biden?
Trump.
Back when Trump was still in office.
No, this has been going on. The Justice Department has been investigating him for like a couple of years.
I got a quick, funny Trump story.
Hit me with
that
it.
I saw today.
Okay.
Apparently, he's calling on people to ban or like to boycott drinking Coca-Cola.
The entire economy. Yeah.
Yeah, all this stuff.
Tylenol, Coke.
But he had a bottle of Diet Coke on his desk
of course.
when he tweeted out the picture. So it's just like, God damn it, man. This guy just can't get it together. And it sounds like, politicians in America as a whole just can't fucking get it together. We're good for one of our elected officials at least once a year doing this. If not on the federal level, at least some state representatives are going down.
The way our politics run right now, it's not incentivizing people who would be good at the job to run for it. Politicians are assholes, man. You show me a politician, I'll show you a fucking asshole.
Yeah, they all turn out to be the same way. I'm not saying they all turn out to travel with child sex workers. But,
different degrees of asshole.
Yeah. But I mean,
they're all inherently selfish people.
I wish I could say that I was surprised at this story, which, I guess I don't know enough about Matt Gaetz to be like, well, it really shocks me that this guy would do that. But I don't know enough to say, it doesn't shock me. It's just with our elected officials, especially from certain states and of a certain party. But you can't even say that it's just,
it's both sides 100%. They both suck.
It's
horribly.
there's no partisanship when it comes to being a piece of shit.
No, that's one thing that the Republicans, Democrats, all that have in common. They're fucking assholes.
Yeah, because Al Franken, he's a Democratic senator, right? And he was jerking off in front of people and stuff.
No, you have that story way wrong.
He was doing something, right?
He resigned.
Is he a Democratic senator?
He resigned, so he's not.
But he was.
He was, but the...
Yeah, he was a Democrat. That was the point.
So he resigned because there was a female reporter wearing a flak jacket on a plane that he was traveling with, and he's a prankster. So he hovered his...
he's a prankster.
He hovered his palms over her breasts, which the flak jacket...
I remember the picture.
It was not good. It's not good.
It's not good.
That's good. It's definitely not the degree of what you were saying it was.
Well, whenever the Me Too stuff was coming out, it seemed like everyone was just jerking off in front of everyone, which is a thing I don't understand. So I'm sorry to label Al Franken that way. But, Louis C.K., he was jerking off in front of people.
Yeah, I think Louis said it best. He's like, look.
Have you ever looked at yourself in a mirror while you were jerking off? Why would you do that?
No, I haven't.
I don't want to show somebody.
I don't think I want to.
Exactly.
God damn it, every fucking time.
I don't want somebody else to watch me while I'm, pounding the pud.
Well, and that's the thing. Louis said it best. He's like, look, if you're going to jerk off in front of someone, you should probably ask them for their consent before you do it. If they do give you that consent, you probably still shouldn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't want to say something overly...
But you definitely shouldn't travel with a child that you're taking around to bang.
What Matt Gaetz did and what Louis C.K. did aren't quite the same. They're both bad, but Matt Gaetz is worse because there's underage children involved.
Yeah.
But anyway, he then proceeded to have an interview with Tucker Carlson, which was wild.
Oh, he went on Tucker tonight, huh?
Yeah, man. And he tried to rope Tucker in on some of the accusations. He's like, yeah, Tucker, you remember that time that you were accused of something that you didn't do? He's like, what? No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He's like, yeah, some girl said you sexually molested her, but you said you didn't. He's like, yeah, there was a mentally ill person 20 years ago who I'd never met who accused me of sexual assault, but I'd never met her, so obviously it wasn't true. But he's like, yeah, so you know what it's like. He's like, I'm distancing myself from this. And he even said...
Tucker's distancing himself.
Tucker said afterwards, that's the strangest interview I've ever conducted.
Did you guys see that interview? Wasn't that strange?
The strangest interview I've ever conducted.
Obviously, this is a push by the Democrats. Trying to say, me? Tucker Carlson?
Yeah, and people are just, everyone's distancing themselves from Matt Gaetz. His comm director resigned. I think it's safe to say he's not going to be reelected. I say that.
Who the fuck knows?
I don't know. He probably is going to be in jail.
You're not a Parks and Rec fan, are you?
I've seen a lot of episodes. I wouldn't call myself diehard.
There's
I like Nick Offerman a lot.
There's kind of a smaller recurring character, Congressman Wexler or something like that, who's always getting into outrageous sexual scandals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
par for the course in politics.
And I think he keeps getting reelected anyway. But that's in a fictional show, so.
All right, let's move on to the next Real Buzz Current Affair. Did you hear Miss Piggy got the Pepe Le Pew treatment?
Miss Piggy did?
Yeah, people are now saying that Miss Piggy should be canceled because of her aggressive sexual advances on Kermit the fucking Frog. They're fucking,
oh, no.
They're they're puppets. They're pig puppets and fucking frog puppets.
Yeah, no, well, man.
I mean, I didn't really give a shit about Pepe Le Pew. They're like, oh, we canceled. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I haven't heard the name Pepe Le Pew in 20 years.
Poor Kermit, huh? People are trying to stand up for Kermit.
I mean, but that's
Kermit. I don't understand that. Yeah, no,
It just seems ridiculous. Just leave it the fuck alone, dude.
So they want to just get rid of Miss Piggy entirely?
I don't know. I think
get rid of all the Muppets movies?
They're going to rebrand her, I guess, as being... I guess she's going to be asking for a lot more consent before she hugs and kisses Kermit.
She's in love with Kermit, though.
And
he's in love with her. They just have a very,
It seems a little more one-sided, but I agree with you.
He loves her.
I don't think
there's
Kermit...
things with them going around.
I don't think Kermit feels he's being sexually assaulted. But also,
I don't think so
he's
either.
not real. He's a fucking frog puppet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sam, pull back the curtain. Sam and I will send each other little Kermit and Piggy being cute to each other.
Oh, that is cute. How cute is that?
Yeah, so fuck that. They can't cancel that shit.
Well, I don't know. They're gonna do something with her, but
they got married at one point. I'm pretty sure because I've seen little gifs of that. So
of course, and then they consummated their puppet marriage with puppet frog piggies.
Yeah,
friggies.
Well, I need to look more into that story. I hadn't heard about that.
Frigs, it's stupid.
It's stupid.
Do you want to do Lil Nas X next, or do you want to do DMX next.
We got a pair of X's. I'm good either way.
Let's do
The original X.
the original X. What Earl, I believe, is his first name.
Yeah, Earl Williams or Wallace or something.
Yeah. So I guess X
Yeah, DMX OD'd.
OD'd. Not the first time he's done it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I haven't seen anything saying what he OD'd on. I imagine some pills or
I was
some
trying
shit.
to find that out too. My first thought is fentanyl, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he was like, into one kind of drug. I think it was a lot of drugs.
Yeah. So yeah, he took a bunch of something, had a heart attack, and apparently the paramedics tried to resuscitate him.
For a half hour.
Yeah, on the scene for a half hour and during that time he had no oxygen supplied to the brain.
It's not good.
So now he is in a vegetated state from what I've read, and they held a vigil for him the other night. They flew his kids in, which I think he's got a lot of kids, but they flew
He
in.
does.
Yeah.
From what I remember, he has quite a few.
So, just sad. We did Cradle to the Grave on this, and we've debated DMX's acting abilities, but, sad to see him, and he definitely had his legal issues and, moral questionable things that he's done. But
fresh off of a 12-month bid for tax evasion.
Yeah, and he seemed like he was somewhat doing better, getting his life together a bit. I don't know. I remember seeing him on Instagram rapping with Snoop not too terribly long
That was
ago,
July
but-
of 2020. That was
Yeah.
Legends versus Legends or something.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I follow Snoop on the IG, so
Yeah,
I saw something. But
and it sucks. I don't want to give up on X too soon because Lamar Odom had a similar incident that he fully recovered from.
yeah, we'll see what happens. He's still alive as of the time we're recording. this.
Doesn't look great, and rest in peace, X. If that happens, hopefully it doesn't. If it comes to that, I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, get well. Get well.
Get well.
We'll go with that
X.
for now.
All right. Speaking of X, Lil Nas X had quite the week.
Lil Nas X, yeah. What a video, huh?
Yes, if you've seen the video.
I haven't watched the full thing, but I've seen the parts that are outraging everyone.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I saw it in a very funny context because Rudy Giuliani was talking about it on his podcast, and the way he tried to describe what was happening in like G-rated language, it was so fucking funny.
I need to look that up.
It's
That
so
sounds hilarious.
fucking funny. It's this serpent that comes down and is also Satan, and then Lil Nas X essentially simulates sex with it.
Oh, he gives it a very sensual lap dance.
Yeah.
Well, and he goes like all the way from heaven down to hell on a stripper pole. Like there's a scene of him
That's
like
so
going
fucking
down.
funny.
Yeah, on the stripper pole, and a lot of people got pissed that he had a shoe deal where he was gonna have a Nike shoe that
Only cost $1,000.
only cost $1,000, had a drop of human blood on the soles.
Yep.
Which apparently Nike lashed back and they were like, we aren't actually making this shoe. Like, we sell these shoes to this third party and they're designing them. So we're going to try to stop those from being made. But yeah, it was quite rough and tumble. But my favorite thing that came out of the Lil Nas X thing, and kind of the way that I feel about it, is a meme I saw. And it said, when I was 12 years old, I watched Satan have a homosexual relationship with Saddam Hussein.
Yep.
Your kids will be fine.
South Park.
And then it was South Park with, and that's kind of, yeah, whatever.
Hey, Satan, let's fuck.
Yeah. Hey, guy.
Hey, what are you saying, guy?
Yeah, I watched Satan in a gay love triangle with Saddam and Chris. Where was I gonna go? Cincinnati or Cleveland? Whatever they say. Yeah.
Right, and I just think, and this doesn't hit me. I'm not a religious person, so I think this is all very fucking funny.
Yeah, I
it
think
doesn't bother me in the
bit
least.
of a publicity stunt for
Oh, it
him,
100% is, and good for Lil Nas X. He's having he is an openly gay black male rapper, and he's out there having a fucking great time.
Yeah.
And good for him, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Good for him. This whole Satan thing, I think, is this angle's working for him, and I more power to him, man. I think it's fucking funny.
Well, yeah, and he had Old Town Road, which I'm not a fan of, but it is catchy. It gets stuck in your head.
When that was God, 4 years ago, 3.
3, yeah, I don't know. It was a while ago.
Still DJing very regularly back then, so I've heard that song a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people loved that song, and but it was kind of a one-hit wonder. Really hadn't heard anything else from him. So how else are you going to get your name back out there?
Rejuvenate his career, man.
Exactly. Go give Satan a lap dance.
It's what the metal bands did in the 70s
Exactly.
and 80s,
Exactly.
dude.
Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne was biting heads
Yeah.
off of bats on stage. So
No, that's the thing. Like, Satan's always been this thing in popular culture, right?
yeah,
It's not. I think it's fucking funny. I think it's fucking funny how upset people are about it.
yeah. I saw some some rapper that I had never heard of because I am far from being caught up on anything mainstream or music.
Was it Lil Baby or DaBaby or Babies? There's a lot of baby rappers now.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody was like I understand what Nas is doing. He did it as a publicity stunt, but like my kids loved Old Town Road. You got to understand all these kids looked up to you for Old Town Road. And Lil Nas X tweeted back and he was like, I talk about I talk about lean and some other shit in Old Town Road. Like it's not like that song was a good fucking song.
It's not a G-rated hip hop song.
Exactly. He was like, control your kids.
Or just fucking understand it's entertainment for entertainment's value. If you watch Scarface, if your kid sees Scarface, that doesn't mean he thinks selling blow and murdering cops is okay. It's entertainment for entertainment's sake, right?
Exactly. Or banging his sister.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. You want to fuck me, Tony?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's really funny.
I haven't seen Scarface in a long time.
It's long. It's too long.
That's why, I've started it probably, even 10 years ago would have been the last time, but I've watched the first hour of that movie and then fallen asleep so many different times.
Yep. You almost have to view it episodically. It should have been a 3-part miniseries.
Yeah.
An hour each, maybe 4. I don't know. But
back in the day.
Yeah. Oliver Stone not Martin Scorsese.
Brian De Palma
directed that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was I don't even know who Brian De Palma is.
He did that and Carlito's Way.
Oh, okay. Those are 2 big ones.
Yeah. He's done some movies that you would know.
All right, let's get this party started.
Yeah, fucking rage.
The movie that we are now. Oh, Keenan, did you have anything else?
No, I was just gonna say, was that it for the events?
That's it.
That's it for
That's
the
all
events.
I've got. Unless you have something else.
I got nothing else.
Nothing else.
I got nothing else.
And nothing else. It's weird that I can see these fishermen walking outside my window.
Hey, buddies.
Hey guys, craft dinner.
There's no fish back there, guy.
The movie we are reviewing today is called The Kid Detective. The release date was 9/16/20. Very new movie. Not the newest we've done, but still very new. Directed by Evan Morgan. Before this, he was known for some shorts that he directed. I was not familiar with any of them. After this, obviously, the movie's just released a few months ago, so nothing yet.
Okay.
Cats.
Cast.
I really only felt the need to highlight 2 people in the cast. Obviously, Adam Brody.
Yep.
As Abe Applebaum.
Applebaum.
They say Applebaum. It's spelled Baum. Bothers me. It's very Jewish. Sophie Nélisse as Caroline.
Yeah, those are really the only 2. And there's really no other big names at all in this movie.
No honorable mentions.
Yeah.
These are all no-name actors. I guess the third lead you could say is the secretary?
Yeah, the secretary who is from Veep. She, I don't know, you've probably never watched that show, but she plays Julia
Hold on.
Louis-Dreyfus.
Why have I probably never watched Veep?
Because we never talked about it. Have you ever watched Veep?
No.
I love Veep, man. You would like it.
I think
It's
I would
a
like
good
it too.
show.
I've seen clips where I think it's very funny.
She plays Catherine, who's Julia Louis-Dreyfus's daughter, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus just fucking hates her. She just talks shit. She's like, Catherine, smile. I don't know. It's so funny.
Isn't what's her face from My Girl in that show too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
I can't remember her name. Anna Chomsky, something like that.
Yeah.
Something
I know. I've seen it too. I can see it in my mind's eye.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those last names that I've seen, and I don't know how to pronounce it really.
Yeah.
It's like Chlumsky.
Klumsky, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know.
Klumsky? Fuck it. Alrighty then. So let's start with Adam Brody. Before this, he was known for Gilmore Girls, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Thank You for Smoking, The O.C., Jennifer's Body, Cop Out, Scream 4, Chips, Shazam, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and most recently, Promising Young Woman, which is fan-fucking-tastic.
You didn't even say my favorite movie of his.
Which one?
Which is Grind. It's a skateboard movie that came out in the early 2000s.
That's so funny because I watched an interview with him where he said he had an interaction with Brad Pitt, and he was like, yeah, man, one of my favorite movies is Grind. And just like, whoa, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Grind is a sweet movie. He plays the guy that they have to convince. He's the nerdy guy that doesn't want to go on the trip, but they have to kidnap him from the fast food place he works at.
I feel like I need to watch that. I've never seen it.
Oh, well, it doesn't hold up quite that well, but I watched it within the last 5 years, and I have all kinds of nostalgia for it, so it holds up in my mind.
I watched Shazam recently. That one,
I still haven't seen it.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right.
And he's also, after this, he is set up for a Shazam sequel.
Okay.
Yep.
He's not Shazam, though, is he?
No.
Yeah.
That's
the guy from... Ted or whatever.
It's hard to explain. I don't want to give away
Yeah, I'll watch
anything.
it. I'll watch it.
But yeah, he's not Shazam.
Okay.
Sophie Nélisse, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think she's French-Canadian.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
She's definitely Canadian.
This movie reeked of Canadian everything.
Yeah, at one point somebody says, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And it's somebody that was talking normal, and then they throw in an I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, sorry, guy.
Before this, she is known for she is French-Canadian. She's known for a bunch of French-Canadian independent films, and then also known for the 47 Meters Down sequel.
Oh, 48 meters down.
That's what they should have called it. I don't know why they didn't just do it.
That's what they should have done for sure.
48 meters down. It's one more meter, guys.
Yeah, keep doing that.
One more meter than the last one. I mean, that's like 3 feet, isn't it? I don't remember meters.
Yeah, I think that's a yard.
I think meters and yards are fairly similar.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah, the goddamn metric system.
Yeah.
After
That's what
this,
the rest of the world is saying, those fucking Americans.
Yeah, I know. Nothing as of yet. Again, this is a very new film.
Yeah, it's good.
I love this movie. Moving on to net worths.
2 Chainz. Smoking on that gas. Life's a beat on Cinemax. Movie. Bought my boo bigger tits and a bigger ass. So bring it back. Bring it back, baby.
Mama!
Stop that bit from the tin knot.
You eat that money in my pan that night? Okay, Adam Brody.
Ain't nobody hollering at you.
Nobody hollering at you.
Adam Brody. Well, you just listed off. I have a note here that's like I haven't seen him in forever.
I couldn't believe how much he was
yeah,
in.
He's done a bunch of shit. So I'll say 25 million.
Pretty close. 16.
Okay.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, he's worth a lot more famous people than him.
Yeah. Good for him.
Whatever.
Good for him. The OC, he's probably getting residuals on that.
That's a great fucking point.
Yeah.
The OC for sure, and Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, I didn't know he was on that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Sophie Nélisse. It's French.
Fuck, I don't know. $1 million.
$1 million.
All right.
Yeah.
$1 million. Come on down. You got it right.
I mean, shit, man.
Shit, man.
Those French-Canadian movies, they're paying off, bro.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
All right, moving on to Specs and Deets.
Yes, indeed.
Runtime, 100 minutes.
Good.
It's good.
Yeah, I didn't think it stuck around too long.
I don't think so either. I don't think it lingered. When I saw it was 100 minutes, I'm like, this probably needs to be 90, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head I would inherently take out. I think it's all pretty essential.
Yeah, him being trapped in the closet for as long, but that would only cut out. You could cut out maybe 30 seconds of him being,
then I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Budget, unlisted. Very much an
Okay.
independent film bought by Sony.
Okay.
Opened at 150K and grossed 367K. This is one of those movies that, because it was an independent film and bought by a studio later, obviously the opening, when it probably opened at a film festival of some kind.
Yeah.
I don't think this is indicative of the movie being bad. I think it's just indicative of the movie not being known.
Yeah,
Because
I think that's fair.
Adam Brody, not a great writer, great actor, very funny, not an A-list guy that's going to bring in a large audience. And when you add that to the fact that everyone else is a no-name actor,
Yeah.
this is going to make its money back the way we saw it on streaming services.
Yeah, and one of the things that I saw as the opening credits were rolling, because obviously it's also not like a Hollywood movie. It came out of Canada, and it's a small Canadian movie, and I noticed that it said like made in association with Crave Entertainment, which is like a Canadian channel that makes the show Letterkenny. So it could have been like an HBO movie or some shit.
Yeah.
Up there.
Oh, I agree. I think the same exact movie under a different, not even studio, just if HBO would have bought this thing and I think it would have been a much bigger hit. But
Yeah, I'd never heard of it, but
I hadn't either. No, the person who's supposed to be on the podcast with us tonight who couldn't make it, he's like, you have to watch this movie. I'm like, I've seen it on Amazon, but I already give it a shot. Blown away. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, plot keywords. Number 1, midlife crisis.
Yep.
Number 2, detective.
Fair.
Number 3, rear male nudity.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm
Checks
with you on
out.
that
Checks out. Number 4, waking up naked.
Yep.
Number 5,
Same scene.
32-year-old,
Oh,
Which
that's
is-
specific.
which is my age. Yeah, he's
All right,
32.
there you go. So you're the same age as Abe Applebaum, huh?
Okay, first of all, we have to admit this. He's not 32 in this movie. He's 40. Like he's
well, in real life.
In real life,
but in the movie, he's 32.
He doesn't not look 32 though. Honestly, man,
Yeah.
he has aged very. I look
he
older
looks
than
the
him.
same as he did back in the day. I feel like
I look older than him, and I'm his age. Well, no, I'm his character's age. I'm 8 years younger than him in real life. So fuck, man. White people generally don't age that well. This guy does. He's a goddamn fucking something rare. Taglines. There was only one. I liked it. No longer a kid, not much of a detective.
okay.
I think he's a great detective.
It reminded me of the Britney Spears song "I'm Not a Girl,
Not yet a woman.
Not Yet a Detective." Is that how that went?
Yeah, I think that's
something
right.
like
not,
that.
Not a girl, not yet a first grade detective.
Yeah, that might have been the Weird Al version of that song.
Oh my god, that
Whatever
would be
happened to
so
that
funny.
guy?
He's still raking in residuals, dude.
Wearing them piano,
Neckties and
piano keyboard
that-
neckties.
Do you think he Jerry curls his hair, man? It's permed, right? It's got to be permed.
That's the question.
It
That's
is-
the real question.
The curls are so.
They're very tight.
They're very poignant.
Yeah, I mean that's his shtick. That's his look. You know,
Yeah.
like if he ever showed up with a normal haircut, he'd just be Al Yankovic. He
Yeah.
wouldn't be Weird Al.
Can you imagine if he like took a straightener to his hair and just walked up and you're like, what the fuck, man?
Hey guys, I'm Al Yankovic. Like, no, bring out Weird Al.
Yankovic. I wonder what ethnicity or what country. Middle.
I'm guessing Polish or something.
Polish. Could
It's
be
got
Polish.
It's got the silent J.
It definitely has
Mila
the
Jovovich.
Eastern Blocker vibe to it.
Yeah, I don't know what he is, but what's up, Weird Al? Come on the pod anytime.
Oh, he's welcome anytime.
Yeah, we'll sing songs together, man. I used to like that Albuquerque song he had.
Not familiar.
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes long.
Oh, that's too long.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember I was obsessed with. He was parodying the rest in peace King R. Kelly. Well, his career anyway. He was parodying "Trapped in the Closet," and it was "Trapped in the Drive-Thru."
Oh, there you go.
Very funny.
Dude, have you ever watched the Trapped in the Closet series?
Every single one.
I have too, and they're fantastic.
They're so good.
And of course, I bring it up later in my notes, but we'll get there.
So good. Like
Then a midget jumped out the cabinet.
it just
It's so
it
fucking
doubles
random.
down every single
Yeah.
episode. It just goes like, okay, how can we make this way weirder and way more dramatic and just like.
His whole. Then I pulled out my Beretta.
And I pulled out my gun.
Oh, it's so good. I haven't watched that in forever. I should watch that again.
Oh god,
Trapped in the Closet.
no,
Can we do
Keenan,
Real Buzz Trapped in the Closet
That is
review?
such a fucking great idea.
Yeah, let's do
because
it.
I can't tell you. When I think I was in high school still, late high school.
Oh, I was young.
I used to know a lot of the first few episodes. Like I used to sing them. I'm not fucking kidding.
That sounds about right. Yeah, well, stay tuned for the Real Buzz Real Trapped.
We don't want to ruin. No
The
spoilers.
Real Trapped.
But if you have a YouTube account, and we all know you do,
Even if you don't, you probably can, just Google
go
it.
watch Trapped in the Closet. It's so on YouTube. I don't think it supports R. Kelly in any way. I don't think he has it monetized on YouTube. So just go watch it. It's a soap opera.
You shouldn't get peed on when you press play. There
No.
shouldn't just be a little pee that comes. Then the pee come out the computer.
All
That
right.
could be a part in Trapped in the Closet, though.
Wake up in the morning, bed that don't belong to me.
That shit just escalates so fast.
And a voice said, "Good morning, darling," from the bathroom.
Oh, it sounds like you still remember him.
Yeah. And I looked up and to my surprise that she wasn't
Yeah.
you. It's fucking great. All right, where the fuck were we? That would
I think it's almost time for the canopsis.
It is the canopsis. All right. I'm excited for your canopsis. Please give us your canopsis, Cannabis Keenan.
As a kid, Abe Applebaum was a hotshot detective in some small Canadian town. Today, he is a washed-up 32-year-old, not like Robbie, because you're not washed up. Well, the 32-year-old. Anyway,
fuck's sake.
haunted by a case from his childhood. When he gets a chance to solve his first real murder, the kid detective finds himself wrapped up in all sorts of shit he didn't plan on.
It was weird because normally you end
I
with
know, yeah.
with it, and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Well, yeah, I couldn't figure out a way to it. Yeah, anyway, I just had to work it in there.
No, I liked it. That was good. This is definitely what. So, if you had to describe this film in one genre, would you call it? I guess it is dark comedy. It's all you can do.
Yeah, and there were definitely funny parts to it, like just him
Very funny.
was being funny, but I would say more murder mystery almost. Like it notches them both. Like, so when I guess just because of In Bruges, that's like what I judge all other dark comedies against.
And this gave me In Bruges vibes, not from any other sense than it is also a dark comedy.
Well, see, and I didn't find it as funny as In Bruges.
It's not.
But the thing is like In Bruges, I found funnier upon each viewing. So I do want to watch this again because the writing was very, very good in this, and a lot of the shit came back around, and a lot of it was like not a lot of wasted stuff that didn't end up coming back.
I will tell you, this was my second viewing of it, and I can corroborate that is in fact true. Some of the jokes are funnier the second time because you know the entirety of the plot, and you're like, oh, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
For example, so when they are at Caroline's grandparents' house, and then they see a photo of what appears to be her parents, which is clearly just a stock photo of people skiing. The first time I didn't pick that up because I didn't know that those weren't her parents yet. Now it's really fucking funny because they took a stock photo of people skiing from a magazine. Like,
that's
because they died in a downhill skiing accident.
Yeah, both of them. It was very blustery that day.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
So upon the second viewing, I found that joke much funnier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's dark comedy, murder, mystery. It notches a lot of good boxes. Just a good movie. Good overall, solid movie.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
Very funny. Adam Brody is fucking perfect in it.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. It's time for the Real Buzz Rundown.
I don't have too much stuff, so however you want to do it.
I'll tell you what. I'll just start, and then you can sprinkle in. 'Cause I have quite a bit. Not quite a bit. I have the normal amount.
Okay. I'll sprinkle.
The first thing I noticed is, God, his fucking parents are such dicks. Like, they go to sit down. Like, can you imagine if you're having any kind of a social interaction with your parents, like in their house, just visiting, no booze involved, you're hungover.
No booze involved.
And he's just like, they're like, how are your finances? Fuck off. How are my finances?
Yeah, fuck off, Dad. How's that sound?
Yeah.
His parents suck the whole movie. I mean, them following him around later on in the movie.
His parents are dicks.
Yeah.
They're bad parents.
Yeah. Whenever he's like with his aunt and uncle or whatever, and they're asking him about, you got any cases? And he's like, he's not supposed to talk about his cases. Like, well, let me talk about this one, Dad, you fucking dick.
Well, that's right, because when he asked about his finances, he goes, yeah, I caught a really big case last week. He's like, oh, what's it about? The guy wanted me to find out if another guy was gay.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah, he was. That's wonderful.
And that was a funny thing, too, whenever he runs into the kid. He's like, oh, I was working a case here at the butcher shop the other day. And the kid's a little asshole. He's like, your dad's gay.
No, he just goes, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He goes, yeah, your dad's gay.
Yeah. But yeah, his parents suck in this movie. Very, very much so.
I love that this movie is so unapologetically Canadian, even down to the names. Like, you have names like Rory Beans. And there's a bunch of like names that are alliterations, like Abe Applebaum, Gracie Gulliver, Ellis Irwin.
That's true.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, it's just very wholesome, very Canadian
Constable
names.
Kramer or something.
Yep. Well, Rory Beans isn't, but that's my favorite name in the whole movie.
Rory Beans is a good name.
It's a great fucking Canadian name.
I like the way that it started out. Like, I guess the very first scene is when you see Gracie kind of get approached by a car, so it's kind of eerie at that point. And then when he goes into his whole shtick about, at 12 years old, I solved the case of the missing time capsule or whatever. And he's like, I got free ice cream for life. And then later on, when you see his life's kind of a piece of shit and he's being ridiculed by his parents, his secretary kind of gives him shit. He goes and gets that free ice cream.
And that fucking guy completely hates him for it.
Oh, yeah.
The guy. I know I said for life, but dude, it's been 20 fucking years, man. Come on, can you pay me once?
I'll just do one of the butterscotches. But if I had free ice cream for life, fuck it. You better believe if I had a bad day, I'd go get it.
Butterscotch pecan.
You told me I would have free ice cream for life. Here's my card.
Yeah, I mean, that's until management changes, but that holds up. If you make that claim, free ice cream for life, you have to honor that.
Yeah. Well, you just get the scene or the feeling right off the bat that, you see his highs from when he was a kid, and then just everyone in his life just thinks he's a worthless piece of shit, pretty much. His parents, his secretary, which shout out to her, the Catherine from Veep.
Not being able to find Gracie Gulliver just ruined his entire
mojo.
Yeah. And, for 20 years, he just kind of became the kid detective that turned into the detective not taken seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. And turns out he was wrong about Rory Beans and other stuff, too, so.
Yeah. Some of his logic was a bit off. They're like, someone stole.
He got bit by a dog.
Yeah, someone stole the fundraising money. What was fundraising for? It was for helping animals. Rory Beans got bit by a dog last month. Like, that is what?
Yeah.
That is not That's
so
not
clearly
even.
he doesn't want to help animals.
Yeah, dude, that's not even like. What does the cop need before he searches your car?
Probable cause.
That's not even probable cause.
No, that's just straight speculation.
He fucking convicted Rory Beans based on the fact he was bit by a dog.
And another thing, though, that ends up coming back around because when it's revealed that the principal actually was the bad guy the whole time, spoiler alert, he's like, you just wanted to test me. You just wanted to see if I was as good as everyone thought I was. And clearly, you knew that I was making that shit up. So that's why you started throwing Gracie in a shed.
But on the opposite side of that argument, he does have some savvy detective skills that he picks up. Like when he.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, I think
he-
he's legitimately.
When he walks into a place, he always leaves a window open in case he needs to break back in.
That's an interesting quirk thing. And that is a thing that you knew was going to come back at some point in time.
Well, of course.
But I'm glad he ate the cupcake when he went back.
The foreshadowing. There's so much foreshadowing in this movie.
Yeah.
It definitely racist that Caroline thought that her Asian boyfriend could have been the only person that left her origami foldings because, well, why do you think it was him? He's the only Asian at our school.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, another thing that comes back around when he's like, it's Japanese. And she's like, I'm so racist.
He's like, that's not that bad.
It's not the end of the world, but yeah. Because when she did say that, I was like, ooh,
Because
that's a little.
Her boyfriend is
ooh.
Chinese.
Yeah.
And origami's Japanese.
And the people that I've known in my life that do origami stuff usually aren't Asian at all.
And I would say I've never received the only
Usually it's
origami.
old, weird white guys.
Yes, the only origami I've received is from white men who are likely incels now.
Yep. Well, there was a guy that used to come into Conrad's, and he'd tip normal amounts, but then he'd fold a $2 bill into like a Hawaiian shirt.
I remember that. I've seen him.
He would go around Lee Summit.
Yes.
It wasn't just Conrad.
No, you showed me because you kept one. You're like, yeah, this guy folded into a Hawaiian
this
shirt.
is really fucking cool.
That's pretty cool.
So, I mean, but that was some old white dude that just goes to bars by himself. So there you go. Who knows what that
Dude,
fucking guy does?
I've been doing that recently.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So,
I don't know if I'm old yet, but
but you're not doing origami. Once you start doing the origami, we'll freak out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We'll know it's gone too far if I start folding bills into funny shapes.
Yeah, Rob, I think you got a bit of a problem now.
Rob, it's one thing if you go drink by yourself at a bar, but stop folding the bills into
Stop
Hawaiian
the
shirts,
bills,
into
bro.
stars, and oh Jesus. I think this movie does a fantastic job of having. It's like this dichotomy theme of very Leave It to Beaver and also has this dark, gritty vibe at the same time. It's like only a Canadian murder mystery could be so clean and wholesome, but also have elements of dark comedy that are kind of more gritty.
Yeah. I mean, this movie, I feel like dark comedy is a hard thing to do. To make light when you're trying to make something as serious as this is. A kid gets stabbed 17 times.
Yeah, but they also do things like call a person who lost their so Gracie Gulliver's mother who lost her husband, they call her the Widow Gulliver. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, well, small town. I don't know. Maybe,
It's the Widow Gulliver. Why don't you say Mrs. Gulliver? I mean, we don't have to. Why do we have to why does her title have to be that her husband's dead?
Yeah. I don't know.
Very old fashioned.
The old Widow Gulliver.
The Widow Gulliver's in your office.
It's very American Outlaws, where it's like old man Hatchet or Cratchit is down there on the thing.
And it's just weird that her title is now, because her husband has died, she's now the Widow Gulliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I want to go back to just while we're going down my notes.
Of course.
While he's getting shit from everybody at the beginning, he's got that random roommate that it's never really explained. It's just like he's just his roommate, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. And but I did feel for the roommate when the roommate comes back and he's carrying the toilet paper and Adam Brody's like, "Oh, good, you got my text." Like, yeah, man. Really sucks bringing home just toilet paper. Everyone knows you got to take a shit. And I've been in that situation.
He's not wrong.
When I've been at I'm like, I have to go buy toilet paper. That's the only thing I need. But it's like, might as well buy a couple other things too. So it looks like I'm just,
See, I remember in college when it was my turn, when we lived in the house and it was my turn to buy the toilet paper because we rotated that and it was all I could afford. I was like, I couldn't even be like, well, I got to buy a couple other things to not make it look like we have to all take huge shits. I could only afford because paper products are not inexpensive.
Oh, yeah.
Paper towels, toilet paper, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, and it's just getting more of a premium in these COVID days.
For sure, 100%.
When I was living down at the Lake of the Ozarks, my second summer down there, we lived right across the street from, I won't say the name of the hotel, but a pretty big hotel. And whenever we'd run low on toilet paper,
Just go
I would
steal?
go into their lobby because they didn't have toilet paper dispenser machines.
bet
They
it
would
was-
just leave the TP out.
Was
It
that
wasn't
one-ply
great.
shit?
No, I mean, it was a fancy hotel, so it wasn't just sandpaper.
Okay, so it was 2
But
ply.
it also wasn't Charmin Ultra Soft.
Yeah, it was-
But, you know.
Oh my God! When I was staying with my friends in Austin a couple weeks ago, they had the most luxurious toilet paper I'd ever used in my
Oh,
entire
yeah?
life, and they said, "Yeah, it's Charmin triple ply." I'm like, Jesus fuck, man!
Triple ply. Jesus Christ.
It's the best. I almost don't want to buy it because I don't want to get used to like something
It's
quite
gotta be
that. It's got to be
expensive,
very
too, yeah.
expensive.
I'll get the ultra Soft or Ultra Strong.
That's what I normally get.
I never remember which one I like, so I go back and forth.
I do Costco. Costco toilet paper is usually
There you go.
Yeah, it's not
There you
too
go.
it's not too expensive when you buy in bulk.
Yeah.
So he definitely when he's on the ego boosters, he fucking aggressively open hand bitch slaps the fuck out of that kid.
Oh, that was great.
It was so good.
Something about the ego busters, real quick, too. Don't take random pills. Like, if you find a random pill, I don't care if private detective or not, at least consult with the drug dealer first before you take them, you know?
Only in movies does that happen because I remember this was also a part of Super Troopers 2 when they're just like, hey,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can't figure out what these are. Well, let's just take them and, we'll describe
Oh,
our
I'm
symptoms.
sure people do it, but it's just something I would never
I would never
fucking
do it. I would never do it.
Yeah, but that was great. So you don't watch Letterkenny, do you?
I'm starting to. I just got a free month of Hulu, so I'm going to.
Okay, so you'll see what I'm talking about when you start it. The like main,
I see clips of it on TikTok all the time.
yeah, the like main shitty kid from this movie that's giving him the hard time and is like, oh, it's the guy from the store. He looks pretty much exactly like a character from Letterkenny, who's one of the skids, and I couldn't get over that part of it. I was like, holy fuck.
Wait, is this the little? Oh, hold on. Was this the one?
the
little,
kid that gets
little
bitch
fat
slapped?
kid?
No, the
oh
kid
no.
that gets bitch slapped
yeah.
and then gets thrown into the river. Because when he ends up thrown into the river, the kid in the river, I was like, fuck. And the kid's even like, you feel good beating up on a kid? And he's like,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do, motherfucker. I thought that was good. Too many kids, shitty kids in movies getting away with shit. It's just a movie. I don't endorse beating kids.
Oh, I do. Fuck yeah, dude. Kids.
You endorse beating.
100%.
You want to take that back a little
If-
bit, though. I'm trying to help you on this one.
no,
Walk that one back a
fuck
little
kids.
bit.
Sometimes kids deserve to be beat. Everyone
If
wants
it's
to be like child abuse.
That kid was already annoying me in the first scene. I'm like, God, this smarmy little fuck. And so when he comes
Look who
back
it is, the kid detective.
and he just smacks that fucking kid, I was like, justice. Finally, justice. That makes this movie worth it right there.
It is funny when he goes down to meet like that crime syndicate boss, like in the bottom of that biker bar, and he's like, "We need to talk about whatever the
Yeah.
agent gets," and he just goes, "No," and he goes, "Okay."
Okay. And then you never go back to the biker bar again.
He walks in. What happened? He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. So that leads me into a note that I had, which I've already talked about how this movie does a really good job of bringing everything back around.
Yeah.
But in the beginning spiel of this movie, some kid comes to him and he's like, yeah, someone stole my pencils out of my desk. And he's like, what else was in your desk? Like peanut butter cup, this. And he's like, oh, Clive Cunningham did it. He's allergic to peanuts, so it's got to be him. Then later on, Clive Cunningham is the leader of the Red Shoe Gang when he's trying to go and see him. And the guy, he gets frisked and there's no weapons. And he's like,
No peanut
no
products.
peanuts because he's got
Yeah.
the peanut candy bar.
That's
so
funny.
that was an instance of it coming back around.
And I didn't even catch that until
I
he
caught
just-
that one. I
but
was
now
like,
I did.
yeah.
No peanut product. He goes, oh, okay.
I was like, oh shit, that peanut allergy thing came all the way full circle.
I really like when he's talking to the principal and they're trying to identify which one of Patrick's friends that he was talking to. And he looks at the principal and says, was he tall and ugly or portly and pathetic?
Yeah, that was good.
It's just so mean, but so accurate.
The kid was a little fat. And the kid's name's Calvin, right?
I don't know.
I think the kid's
Maybe-
name is
maybe
Calvin.
It was.
Yeah.
The one who always played Pong.
Let me look it up. Yeah, what the fuck is up with that kid playing Pong?
Well, his sister did too. I think it maybe it's still
Canadian
popular in
thing, I
Canada.
guess, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
And also, you knew as soon as he got in that little girl's closet, he was fucked. It was going to be he was fucked from Jump Street. They were going to catch him, and it was going to be like a weird. What did it say I was doing? It said you were masturbating while looking at her in the closet.
I wasn't masturbating.
I wasn't masturbating.
Yeah, that shit's so great. Yeah, the kid's name is Calvin.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So another note that I had up here when the first time when he goes and we've already talked about how he went to the house and he left the window open. So that's at Calvin's house.
Yeah.
And when he's
Oh, for fuck's sake! Sorry.
when he's interviewing Calvin or whatever, And Calvin is clearly just a shit kid that's in love with Caroline. He's like, I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this, Caroline.
He's like a Caroline simp.
Yeah, but then Adam Brody's like, oh, he had another girlfriend, huh? And she was doing more stuff, and he's like, put her hand on his penis. Anything else?
There's euphemisms for this.
Like, put his penis in his mouth. I was just like, God, what a shit little kid. Whenever he said those lines, it's like, fuck that kid. But yeah, there's euphemisms for that. Great fucking line. And then when he goes back to the kid's house, and for a second there, I was like, maybe it was Calvin. He's a creepy little fucking kid. Clearly he's in love with her.
Yeah.
And gets trapped in the closet. So the whole time I'm just thinking of R. Kelly's trapped in the closet. And what would you do if you were in that situation? Like, obviously we'd never break into somebody's house, but I think I'm just running out the front door whenever I'm going down the stairs the first time and the girl's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I think he's already almost to the front door. At that point, I'm just running out.
Small town, though. I think
that's true.
Abe Applebaum is, kind of a known dude.
That's true. Or maybe try to find a window to go out instead of go down the stairs in the first place.
It's not a near as funny thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, I also like how they say adults. It's a very Canadian thing.
I don't know if I noticed that.
Yeah, it's not. They don't say adults. They say we need to find some adults. They say it like 8 times.
Yeah, they definitely have some funny ways of talking up there.
Adults.
Oh, eh.
Also, how would a detective be more qualified to find a cat than anybody else? He's trying to find the Widow Gulliver's cat. He doesn't ever try, actually, but she's wanting him to for most of the film. What? If you're a detective, how do you find a cat?
I think that's part of the joke, though. It's like he's a private detective that really can't get a real fucking case at all, so he's come so low that he's accepting cases.
It's like when the firefighters come and get a cat out of a tree. It's like, anyone could do this.
I'm pretty sure the Widow Gulliver's cat's dead.
Best thing.
That's at the yeah.
He finds her daughter. He's like, but I'm pretty sure.
And I did think it was funny when he called the Widow Gulliver after he finds Gracie, and he's like, I found her. She's like, my cat's a boy.
It's like, no, I found her.
Yeah. Man, and fuck. So that was the end of my notes, so I'm sure you'll get into it, but...
only have a couple more things.
Okay.
5 or 6.
Well, I just wanted to say Gracie at the end. Fuck, man.
Yeah, I have problems with that.
Didn't think she was going to be alive.
No,
that caught me off guard.
I didn't, but also have a hard time believing that she was in a wooden shed for 20 years and couldn't find a way to escape.
Well, I don't know. I think he probably really did some Stockholm syndrome.
That's fair.
Psychological shit on her.
That's fair. So the psychological aspect could be a good argument there. So she either felt bonded and or afraid enough of her captor to not try and escape. Okay, I'm on board with that.
And he made it seem like she might have, I think he definitely took advantage of her. So the principal turns out the bad guy.
Yeah, so
we
should say it. So the principal so Gracie Gulliver is kidnapped at the beginning. The principal of her school kidnapped her, raped her, pedophile rape, and then Caroline ends up being their love child.
Yeah, so she gets pregnant, has a daughter, and then he keeps Gracie in a shed in his backyard for 20 years or whatever. But he made it seem like I think he manipulated her at a young enough age that she probably, she might have listened to him at the beginning or something. Once she gets pregnant, he's like, I got to hide you away. Think your dad's the mayor. What would he do? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to justify her anything, but I'm just saying.
He has this fucking crazy logic that he applies to kind of rationalize what he did. He says, I took something beautiful, but I gave something beautiful back.
Yeah.
Which is like him saying, yeah, I kidnapped and raped a 13-year-old girl, but our daughter, Caroline is, that is so, that logic is so warped and fucked up. And of course it's supposed to be. I'm not holding the actor responsible like he actually said. I mean, obviously it's character.
Yeah.
But also, when he kills himself, one of the more uncomfortably long death scenes I've experienced.
Oh, absolutely.
It was, again, supposed to be intentional, but I was just like, geez, fuck, man. Like you watch him stab himself with a hunting knife in the heart multiple times.
Yeah, pretty gruesomely.
That's the thing. The last fifth of this movie goes from quasi-dark comedy to very, very fucking dark.
Yeah.
When you bring in the pedophilia rape, when you bring in,
When you bring in the truth, pretty much, it's like, fuck, man.
It's a wild movie. The widow Gulliver called me a hero. I'm pretty sure her cat's dead, though.
It's a great movie. I mean, I will definitely watch it again. It's one of those ones you watch and you know, kind of while you're watching it, it's like, I'm going to need to watch this another time.
Yeah, Adam Brody's comedic timing and delivery and cadence is so good.
And I think that's why a lot of the comedy didn't hit for me as much this time, because I noticed things were funny and I was chuckling at certain parts, but I think more so I was too invested in where is Gracie?
The mystery part of them?
Who killed, and I forget the kid's name now, but who killed Caroline's boyfriend? Like, I was invested in all that shit.
Patrick, yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting that they were like, yeah, the gangs are recruiting the nerdy kids that have A's and pretty much bullying them or forcing them to sell their drugs.
Yeah, because
that was interesting.
They have the highest marks in school, so they're least likely to be suspected.
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely did that thing that it reminded me of Jamae from
Summer Heights High.
Summer Heights High.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm a year 6, he's a year 7. And, you know, like they didn't say grade. Like, yeah, you know, whoever has the best marks in their year is the one who they take.
Oh yeah. I think outside of America they call them marks and shit like that.
And years instead of grades. And yeah. And,
well, in Canada they say I got my grade 12.
Yeah.
I just know that from Trailer Park Boys. I got to get my grade 10.
I like how Caroline deals with the news of her conception by like pedophilic rape just by getting bangs. Like, that's kind of how she deals with it.
She's changed her look.
Yeah, she's like, I've discovered that my mother was held captive by my principal/father for the last 20 years, and my entire life's a lie. I think I'll get bangs.
At any point, did you think that she was the one that did it? It crossed my mind at some point. I wrote down, was Caroline involved? Not necessarily that she did it, but is there some kind of bigger thing to where somebody killed him and then they sent her to kind of test him as the lead detective or some shit like that? Like, at some point,
because she does hire him.
Yeah,
so
it's
a decent theory.
Reindeer games-ish.
But I understand where you're coming from there. It's just it's not an angle I ever explored.
Because Charlize Theron ends up being, she
triple crossed people in that movie.
All over the place.
That movie is wild.
Yeah. So it was. I was just looking for anything. I thought that I had figured it out. I was like, I bet you it's Caroline. She's going to end up being involved. And then what ended up being the truth, the reveal that it was the principal and that he had raped and kept Gracie in a shed for 20 years. I was like, did not see that coming. This movie got me on that one.
So the one question I have, and I want your opinion on this because I don't think I even know the answer. Why do you think the end scene, the end shot of him is him bawling?
Why do you wondering about that.
Do you think he's crying because strictly from the traumatic experience that just happened, that he, or
I think it's more just like ever since the Gracie Gulliver thing, when he was 12, 14, whatever.
Yeah.
He's kind of just been in this depression, I think, and the whole town kind of was in this depression. He made it seem like, because he talks about, he's like, after I found Gracie, the town
getting color
came out
again
for the Spud Festival or whatever. Nobody's came for 20 years, and I think it was a bit of that, and then also he had been shit on by everybody the whole time. His parents, how are your finances doing?
Of course.
Now, and I think he'd been putting on somewhat of a front to people, like, because he's still got to be Abe Applebaum, and it's just kind of like one thing after the other. Like, yeah, the paper said you were masturbating. He's like, I wasn't fucking masturbating. And I think he just kind of held all that shit together, and then he finally got some closure on Gracie and the Caroline and got appreciation from people. And I think it was just like maybe finally getting that appreciation and realizing that it was all kind of.
So I think we have
he just
almost the exact same.
Yeah.
I think because he finally found him, like, proved himself and gained respect from his community, his parents again. I think he was finally, after 20 years of being thought of as a joke, someone who couldn't be taken seriously, he finally did something that he was always capable of, and he proved himself, and that it was just kind of, he was just releasing that emotion, I think.
Yeah, and he finally got some validation from his parents too. I hesitate to say he's just crying because he got validation from his parents, but I think it's
bigger than that. That's part
when
of it.
He's sitting there and they're like, what happened to your roommate? And he was like, he got his own place. He was kind of a deadbeat, and he kind of makes that joke because he's got that jokey type attitude, and I think he just doesn't like to show I hate this saying this
vulnerability.
Vulnerability.
Yeah.
And he finally was like, you know what? I can fuck it. it's just coming. The waterfalls are flowing.
Well, maybe it's both, too. Maybe it's the traumatic experience of finding out that his principal and Caroline's principal were both, he was principal for both those kids. Finding out that he's a pedophilic rapist.
Yeah.
And then solving the crime that he was always kind of
meant to solve.
Not meant to solve, but also like people were angry at him for not solving it, right? So I think it's a combination of all the things. And getting validation from his parents and his community and even his secretary.
Yeah, even his secretary.
Finally not being kind of a dumb bitch.
Yeah. But I did enjoy the way that actress handled herself. I thought it was funny.
Her character is fucking fantastic. Yeah. She's like, what were you doing?
Even when she's not on the scene, like whenever he goes and sees Caroline and he's like, yeah, I got out of jail. And she's like, yeah, I heard. He's like, oh, no, you read the paper? She's like, your secretary showed me. It's like, why would you do that? Like, why would you, bitch?
He walks in and he goes, what are you doing here? I just had some people over the office. What if a client came in? Dude, you're the town pedophile now. I don't think you need to worry about it.
Yeah. She's good. Yeah, this movie, I'm excited to watch it again. I still have 24 hours on the rental, so maybe I'll go home and watch it tonight.
Watch it again.
I'm hopeful, and this is going to sound shitty, but I rented it. I do want to show Sam the movie, but she's not going to be over the next couple nights. So it's like, do I pay another $5 to rent it again to show her when she will potentially fall asleep? We rented Role Models the other night because she was like, let's watch Role Models.
And she fell asleep?
Fell asleep within the first 20 minutes.
Same thing happened to my ex-wife. She'd always want to rent something. And it worked out because if it was something I'd already seen, I would be like, all right, but you're going to fall asleep. But if I hadn't seen it, I was good with it.
Yeah, because then I'll watch it, you know. But Role Models, I ended up falling asleep too because I've seen it, several times. But so it's like, do I wait until this comes streaming again? But I might give it another $5. I think it's worth it.
I did. I gave it $6, both $5, $4.99. $4.99. Yeah. So I've given it.
Found it on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon. And if I look at it this way, if I were going to see it in the movie theater, taking her on a date, I would spend way more than that.
You would spend $7 per ticket.
Yeah. So I should look at it that way. I think this movie's worth seeing, and I'm glad you told me to watch it. Yeah. It's definitely not our normal fare on this podcast.
No, and probably this won't be a super highly viewed episode because it's not a huge
nobody's heard
movie.
of it.
But I hope what happens is maybe this gains some traction and people actually,
we can do our part for it.
If we can get 10 people to watch this movie, great.
It's worth watching. I think it's worth the $4.99. We just spoiled the entire thing for you, so hopefully you decided to watch it before.
Maybe watch it before you listen, but if you don't, it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and definitely after a second watch, you go back, you see all this stuff, come back and listen again. Fuck it.
All right, let's move on to. There's no trivia for this film.
No trivia.
Zero trivia.
Is that a real buzz first? Just absolutely no trivia?
That is a first. So what we're going to do is Tipsy Trivia Canadian Edition.
Oh, hey. Jeez. All right. I'm glad it stopped after that. I thought it was going to be the whole thing.
No, just Oh Canada.
Okay. Can I tell my Canadian joke real quick then?
For sure.
If we're doing an all Canada edition?
All Canada.
So, Canada, they're all very nice people, and they don't want to step on your toe and stuff like that. And they always say, oh, I'm so sorry.
As is tradition.
Figuratively step on your toe. I'm sure they don't want to literally do it either.
No.
But, so the way Canada got its name was back when they were first, declaring their independence from England or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they
Which didn't happen until quasi-recently.
Yeah, well, and they established their Canadian legislature, and they were having their Congress or however government works up there. And they were like, nobody could decide on a name, so they were like, hey, the best way that we could do this is if we just all put letters in a hat and draw the letters out of a hat.
No fucking way.
Yeah, so what they did was they elected somebody to be the letter drawer.
So this is back in, like, the 19th century?
Yeah, they elected somebody to be the letter drawer. They gave everyone around, drum rolls, and the first letter is C, eh? And then the drum roll and the second letter is N, eh?
Oh,
and then the third letter is D, eh? You get the joke?
No.
Come on, man. So C, eh? because they always say A.
A, and you say
Canada spelled
C-A-N-A-D-A. Okay, I do get
So
it
they
now.
drew the first one as
For
C-A.
fuck's sake, Keenan, I thought you were telling a real story.
I know. I told you it was a joke before I got into
All
it,
right,
though.
then I fucked up.
I had you hook, line, and sinker on that.
100%. I'm like, wait, hold on. What if they drew like 11 consonants? How would
So
this,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
So they drew C-A,
A?
and everyone goes A,
Okay.
and then they go N-A,
That's
A,
funny.
D-A.
A? And
So
then
that's how
it's done.
Canada got its name. Yeah, that's my stupid
fucking
Canadian
stupid,
joke for
but
you
also
there.
funny.
Yeah, I like to tell that joke.
All right. So this will be 5 trivia-based questions from Canada.
About Canada, eh? I guess every answer is going to be A.
They're all multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 1.
General Canadian trivia.
Canada has more of these shops per capita than any other country in the world. A, hockey stores. B, ice cream shops. C, candy shops. Or D, donut shops.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Tim Hortons.
Well, you're right. You know what Tim Hortons is?
I thought it was like a gas station.
It's a donut shop.
All right, donut shop. Then.
Donut shops, yes.
D, donut shop.
Correct.
I was just going to guess Tim Hortons. So you give me D? You'll
I will
allow
give it to you. Yeah.
All right.
No, you knew Tim Hortons. That's
All
yeah.
right.
There's a Tim so. I would describe it. There are the way there's a Whataburger every 11 inches in Texas. It's
Yeah.
the same way that there's a Tim Hortons in most Canadian provinces.
Okay, I knew Tim Hortons was a big deal up
Yeah.
there. I don't fully understand what Tim Hortons is.
It's a
I guess
donut-
it's a donut
it's
shop.
a donut shop.
Donut and coffee, probably. So it's like a Dunkin'
It's like
Donuts.
a Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Number 2. Canada has a really ridiculous, weird law against A, driving and eating, B, reading superhero comic books, C, swearing in public on Tuesdays, or D, bowling before dinner.
I mean, the only one that sounds even remotely plausible is A, driving while eating. So I'm going to go with that one. But
It's not that one.
which one is it?
So it's B. Superhero comic books are outlawed in Canada because you cannot have a depiction of an illegal activity in a graphic novel that can be sold
To children.
in general.
So no Marvel comics or anything like that
No.
in Canada. Can they see the movies?
So here's the thing. I think they still do it, but it's one of those.
It's
one of those laws
old
that still
laws.
exists.
Yeah.
That it's like, why does this law exist?
Like if they decided to enforce it, comic book owners or comic shop owners in Canada would be. There's probably no comic shops up there, but
probably
if you
not
have
a
them
lot.
tucked away in
Yeah,
your
but
secret little.
If you go to Toronto, I bet you can find a Marvel.
Oh, I
comic
bet
book.
you can. Yeah. Oh fuck, that's weird.
Yeah, no, it's a very strange law.
You know,
All right.
shout out to Tavish Whiting, Mr. Whiting, our government teacher.
Fuck, I haven't heard that name in so long.
Well, who names their kid Tavish? First of all,
I talking about beating children. I feel like he almost beat the shit out of me. I called him Tavish one time.
I think he's been brought up on this podcast before. He used to wear a shirt, a polo that had the American flag / the Constitution / like bald eagles all flying over it.
He did.
And this was pre-Trump, folks.
Hold on, were we in the same government? No, we couldn't. have been.
No,
We
you were
couldn't
a
have
couple
been.
years before me,
Yeah,
but
I
we
definitely
took the
had
same
him.
class.
Yeah.
And so shout out to him. Though I think it was him. He had a lot of little posters with weird state laws on his
Yes,
walls.
that I remember that.
And I always thought that was entertaining. So that when you say something like that, that makes me think of 12th grade senior year.
I also
government
remember
class.
he also had his own scandal,
Oh yeah, he had a scandal. Something about cheating on his wife while she was like in a coma or something.
and it was
with a student.
online. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was like www.tavishiskiller.com or some
Yeah,
shit.
I remember there was definitely some. What did he? God, would have been screenshots back then. It was
No, it's like random pictures
Yeah.
that from someone's digital camera of him and like a underage chick or like. But it was probably somebody that was just really creative, a bitter high school student that got an F and made like a GeoCities website.
It's been so
and
long.
then it got passed around.
I really don't have any idea if the allegations are hold any water. So just allegedly stuff we heard. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't want to throw it. Who knows what that dude's even doing?
I mean, don't get me wrong. He definitely was a weird fucking guy.
I will say this. Last time I saw Mr. Whiting, I was...
Don't call him that. You're 30 years old.
Last time I saw Tavish, if I saw him, I'd call him Mr. Whiting.
I
Because
would.
based on the story you said, didn't you tell him, like, calm down, Tavish? And he was like, Robbie!
I was 13 or 14 at the time. I'm
You were in
30,
high school.
I'm
You weren't
32
13 or
now.
14.
All right. Well, I was
You
15.
were probably 18.
I was 15 or 16.
You were a senior.
Ah, whatever.
Anyway, I saw him in the bourbon aisle of Gomer's in Lee Summit, which
Okay.
isn't there anymore. But
No, it's called something else now.
I was 21, at least of age to drink, and he totally didn't recognize me.
Of course he didn't.
And I allowed that to happen. I wasn't like, hey, you remember me, Tavish? So anyway, that's the end of that story. Question 3.
I would 100% call him Tavish if I saw him. All right, number 3. Cape Breton in Nova Scotia is the home of the world's largest.
Fuck, I don't know any of these.
Of course you don't. I didn't either.
Who knows Canada, man? Cape Breton in Nova Scotia.
Cape Breton in Nova Scotia
that's
is
on the east
home
side.
to the world's largest A, bird egg, B, fiddle, C, tennis ball, or D, barcalounger.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Did you make up the other 3 answers?
Of course.
Okay, so hit me with them one more time.
A, bird egg, B, fiddle, C, tennis ball, or D, barcalounger.
I'm going to say tennis ball.
No, fiddle. Biggest fiddle.
Fuck.
Cape Breton in Nova Scotia is home to the world's largest fiddle.
Damn, man. I didn't think fiddle.
Well,
it
of
was
course,
between tennis ball and bird egg, to be honest with you.
I just made that shit up. Barcalounger. I was like, the world's largest.
Barking lounger. Well,
Lounger,
yeah, I don't know. They like to ice fish and stuff. The Canadians, very nice people, but they're hardy. They don't need comfort.
Nah,
Not like us Americans.
no. Number 4.
I don't have a story about a high school teacher that I can bring up after that question, so sorry.
Well, that's okay.
Number 4.
Probably best. Which famous phrase was founded in the town of Blackie in Alberta? So, which famous phrase, you will recognize all of these, was founded in the town of Blackie in Alberta?
It was founded? I didn't know you could found a phrase.
Created,
Is
originated.
this like that episode of Curb when Richard Lewis tries to convince anyone he created the blank from hell?
Kind of.
That's my buddy Richard Lewis. I don't know. I think that's just a saying.
So
anyway, sorry.
This phrase was created, originated in the town of Blackie in Alberta. Was it A, not on my watch, B, trick or treat, C, a dime a dozen, or D, beating around the bush?
See, a dime a dozen.
B, trick or treat. So
Damn it.
that's very famous. Trick or treat originated, the phrase trick or treat in Halloween originated in the town of Blackie in Alberta.
Do you know why? Do you have anything to back that up?
No, not a lot.
Why? How do you know that?
Because I was on a website with funny Canadian trivia.
But it didn't say it was invented because did they invent Halloween or some shit?
You know what? I can't.
Did they invent trick or treating?
No, they invented the phrase trick or treat. From what I read. That being said, though, I didn't exactly do like a lot of due diligence and like read very diligently. Is that a word?
I don't think so.
Diligently. I didn't read very diligently like the entire text. I just read that that we should be thankful for Blackie and Alberta for coming up with the phrase trick or treat.
All right, then.
You all right?
Went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, it happens. All right, this one's fun. Number 5. Which type of pizza originated in Canada?
Wait, I think I got 2 right? I got the first 2 right, so this is everything or nothing, baby.
You did, yeah. Number 1. No, you've only got 1 right, but that's
All right,
okay.
anyway.
That's all right. This is all for all the marbles.
All right.
Which type of pizza was originated in Canada? Was it A, barbecue chicken pizza, B, Hawaiian pizza, C, Neapolitan pizza, or D, meat lovers pizza?
It's got to be Hawaiian pizza.
It was Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, that's a Canadian thing. Put the pineapples on the pizza.
Wait, how did you know that?
I just figured it had to have been.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to come up. The Neapolitan comes from Napolitan.
Of course,
What was the
Nepalese.
first one? Barbecue chicken?
Yeah, of course it's not.
No Canadian would try to do barbecue.
And meat lovers probably isn't going to be Canadian.
No, meat lovers is just too generic. Let's just throw all the meat on there. So it's got to be the Hawaiian. And here's the other thing. Maybe this is controversial. Maybe it's not. I have literally no opinion on pineapple on pizza. If it's your thing, good for you. If it's not your thing, good for you. I'm not one of those people that are going to go out there and die on the hill. Pineapple shouldn't be on pizza.
This is a dating app thing a lot too. So when, the prompts that you get on the dating apps when you're trying to match with other people on apps, it's one of them is, what are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza? I'm like, I mean, yeah,
I've literally never thought about it.
I don't. It's not something that's super important to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely had it.
It's not my favorite type of pizza. I've been with
If you get sweet and savory, if you have pineapple and you have jalapenos and like breakfast bacon, like sweet savory, fuck yeah, I'll do
exactly.
it.
I like the pineapple. I like ham. It's not anything I'm gonna order, but I've been with people that really fucking like it. And if there's a pineapple and a ham, a Hawaiian pizza at a party, I'll have a slice.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a strong feeling against it. But
if
you're like, hey, I don't like that, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Like you said, it's a big enough thing to where the dating apps are now asking you, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza? This is the most made up fucking argument in the entire goddamn world.
Yeah, I agree.
Literally, who gives a shit?
And the fact that Canadian people made this pizza should only tell you that, like, hey man, just you don't have to have like a super hard take one way or the other. Like Canadians are just like, yeah, we made this pizza. It's good.
We put some pineapple on there.
Yeah,
it's
put
fine.
pineapple. It's
fine.
Don't freak out.
It's fine. Sometimes if you get, here's a really good pizza. If you get pepperoni, banana peppers, and pineapple on a pizza,
okay,
it's a really tasty pizza.
I'm open to that.
I don't go out and order it, but if you get it, it's pretty good.
Back when I worked at Shakes, when I was in college, Shakespeare's Pizza in Columbia, Missouri, I had a favorite personal
Was
pizza.
it the 4P?
The 4P.
The triple P, quad P, something like that? The P pizza?
No, I made this was not on the menu.
Okay,
not on the menu. I would get mozzarella, pepper cheese, tomato sauce, pineapples, breakfast bacon, jalapenos.
It all sounds good so far.
And there's one other thing. I think I put mushrooms on it, maybe.
No, leave that shit out.
And it was delicious. It was the pepper cheese complemented the jalapenos and the pineapples well, and then you had the breakfast bacon, which was also savory. It was delicious.
So Sam and I went to St. Louis it was actually the day after Christmas.
Did you go to Emo's?
No, we stopped in Columbia, and she had never had Shakespeare, so we ate at Shakespeare's on our way there. And they had a pizza that was called like the 4 Ps or like the P pizza or something like that.
It's probably a $40 pizza.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that expensive, but it had like it had the pepper cheese, pepperoni, pepperoncinis, which are the banana peppers.
Yeah, Papa John's.
Like green peppers. It was all shit that started with P pretty much, and it was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
And it had pineapple on it, and it was fucking fantastic. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That question, I know it's a hot topic on the internet. This one should be the clip that you use. I don't give a shit about pineapple on pizza.
I'm not making
I also don't care if you don't I'm
not making a fundamental judgment about you whether or not you like pineapple on your pizza.
Yeah, can't we care about things that are more important, like Toy Story not being that great? I'm just kidding. Toy Story.
That's not funny, dude.
I know.
Not funny.
I wanted to say something inflammatory.
I will fight you. That fucking movie. Wait, hold on. Which one though? Which one?
No, I like Toy Story.
What's your favorite Toy Story?
Well, I've only seen the first two.
Oh, well, there's 2 other ones.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't seen the newest one. I've only seen 3
I've heard
of the 4.
it's good. I've heard 3's good. The second one kind of made me sad, so that's why I never saw the third one.
The third one, I'm not even fucking with you, man. I watched in theaters and I bawled.
I've heard the third one's really sad.
The third one's
Andy grows up or some shit.
Yeah, I grew up with these movies, so it was like I was kind of like
that's why they did it.
Experiencing it through Andy's experience. And it was perfect. That's why I didn't see the 4th one, because the 3rd one just wrapped things up so perfectly.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've only seen the first
And a major character in the 4th one is a fucking spork.
Yeah, but Keanu Reeves is in the 4th one. He plays like a what's his name? Evel Knievel type toy.
Oh, like is it like a Ken doll that?
Yeah, that's like rides motorcycles.
Yeah.
or some
Okay.
shit.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so cool. here's the hill that instead of arguing about pineapple on pizza, let's argue about Tobey Maguire being a terrible Spider-Man. Because I will say,
I'll fucking fight you, Tobey Maguire.
Terrible Spider-Man.
I will fight you. And I think here's the thing.
Garfield better.
I've been in one fight in my entire life. It was in 4th grade. I got my ass kicked. I could take Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, you sneeze on him, he'd fall over like a little bitch.
Dude. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. So Garfield better, Tom Holland better. What's up, Calvin?
Yep, agreed. 100. We're in agreement on both those counts.
Maybe even in that order.
Drinking Buddies.
Part of the podcast where we choose a character, not an actor, but a character from the film that we would get irresponsibly shit-faced, drunk, shivoed with, if you will, and I will. Keenan, who is your drinking buddy?
I feel like there's only one answer.
I agree, but I don't think we'll have the same answer.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say Abe. Abe Applebaum.
Oh, I was going to say Rory Beans.
Oh, you're going to drink with Rory Beans,
yeah,
huh?
I'm going to drink Rory Beans.
The only other answer, because I was trying to think, there's no really reefer chiefing in this movie. There is, I think, the drug.
There's a lot of coke snorting in this movie.
Well, and I think when Abe asks there's a scene where he has a drug dealer come by and he's like, "Sorry, I've just been drinking too much, man." And
yeah,
then,
he has a drug dealer bring him drugs. Like, I've just been drinking too much.
I think that he just buys weed, though, because after he buys the drugs, the next thing you see is the ashtray and there's cigarette butts and then a little joint roach in there.
Yeah.
So I think it was just a weed dealer. And right after that, Caroline knocks on the door and his eyes look super red. Like, they did a good job of making his eyes look like he was chiefed out of his mind.
Yeah, but then his roommate had people over and they were snorting lines of blow.
He was opening the Ego Busters.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, he was opening the Ego Busters. And
boosters. Ego
yeah.
boosters.
Yeah,
they're
completely
not,
different
they're not
ideas, I guess, on that.
Yeah.
Ego boosters. He was snorting those, which he was like, it's probably just a mix of cocaine and insert random things for dialogue in the movie here.
Yeah.
It's a made-up drug that's not just cocaine, but
I would say
they said 4 of those pills would cost like $1,000 too.
No. They said a bottle of those pills would cost $1,000.
It didn't sound like there were that many pills in that bottle. He was rattling around.
Yeah.
Sounded like there was just a few.
But I feel like if I had to call Coke anything else, Ego
God,
Booster.
I sounded like a big druggie right there.
Where'd you learn that, Cheech? Drug school?
Well, there wasn't a lot of pills in those bottles.
No, I feel like if you had to call Coke something else other than Coke, Ego Booster would be, yeah.
Yeah, when he was describing the little shithead fucking kid that gets bitch slapped.
Yeah, the little bitch-ass Canadian skinhead.
You want to ask a girl out? This will help. You got a test study for it. It's like, oh, you're talking about like Adderall. Or cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's meth and Coke. 100%.
You're talking about an upper, maybe ecstasy, I guess, if you want to ask a girl out. But either way.
Yeah. I think the Coke would still take care of that. Like, if you want to ask a girl out, you do some Coke. You're like, hey, what's up? Hey,
yeah, Coke or Adderall, for sure.
Hey, my name's Rob. What do you, I like your hat. I think, do you enjoy Quentin Tarantino movies? Do you want to go out sometime? Like,
I got to go to the bathroom real quick, but let me tell you all about The Hateful Eight and why it's a fantastic movie and it doesn't, it gets overlooked.
Oh, no, do you like movies too? Movies are great, right? I love movies.
Yeah, so anyway.
All right, Rotten Tomatoes over under. I will set the critics at an 85%.
That's a respectable place to set it. I'll say under, but I hope it's over.
Under 82%.
Okay. 85 sounded high.
Respect. No, I would. Yeah, okay.
Because then it would have to be 86 or 87, which sounded high.
No, it could have been 84.
No, if I were to guess over is what I'm saying.
For sure. Okay, yeah.
85
right.
just sounded high to me.
Audience, I will set at a 77%.
I hope over. I'm going to say over.
Unfortunately, it's under 75%.
Ah, weak.
I don't think. I don't know, man.
Well, I'm not going to give it. We'll get to our takes.
No.
But...
I mean, how many millions people voted for Trump? Fuck it. Of course, it's not an 80%.
This movie has no political undertones.
No, I know,
for
but
the record.
I'm just saying that
I know what
there's
you're
enough
saying.
stupid
There's
people in
dumb
America
people.
who go, I didn't like it. I didn't want it good. Where's Bruce Willis? No, fuck it. Yeah, there's a lot of dummies out there. IMDb.
I don't know what it is. I should have looked. I will guess, based on what you said, a 7.2.
7-0.
7-0.
7-0. Pretty good.
All right.
My Real Buzz ranking, I will give a 4.5 out of 5 beers.
I knew you were going to go to 4.5 out of 5. I knew
you
were going to go to 4.5 out of 5.
Did you knew it?
I knew it.
Did you know it?
I've only seen it once.
I have seen it twice, which I think makes a difference.
I think this is the type of movie where it makes a difference. I think the first time you watch it to try to solve the mystery yourself, the second time you can watch it knowing what happens and try to pick up on all the little things. So that being said, I'm going to give it a 3.75 beers out of 5.
That's respectable.
I can't give it a full 4, and it's better than a 3.5. So, yeah,
I guarantee you once you watch it a second time, it'll go up to 4.
Yeah, I think it will too. I think it has the potential to go either way for me, maybe. It could go down,
Oh, you think
too.
it could go down? Okay.
It could go down,
okay.
too.
All right.
Here's the thing. I'm a bit of a hipster with the dark comedies just because I love In Bruges so much.
Well, we both do. Yeah, it's
and you
both
do
of our
too.
favorite
Exactly.
movies. Yeah.
But that movie did kind of like I've seen that movie enough to where and everything relates in that script to now when I watch movies, I'm looking for shit to come back around And this movie did a fantastic job of making pretty much every line they say come back around.
And I just don't think it's a fair comparison anyway, because you're looking at
Oh, they're two different subject matters entirely.
not even just that, just the talent of acting in Bruges compared. I mean, you got
Very true.
Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell.
Oh, and probably budget.
World-class actors. World-class actors.
Yeah.
I don't know who directed In Bruges.
Martin McDonagh, I think.
Irish guy. Okay.
He hasn't, everything he's done since, and he ended up, I think, winning Best Director for 3 Billboards, which I think is not as good as In Bruges.
In Bruges is better.
So pretty much In Bruges was his first movie. Then he did 7 Psychopaths, I think. And then he did 3
Decent
Billboards.
movie.
But I have not liked anything that he's done as much as In Bruges.
Well, In Bruges is a masterpiece.
That being
it's
said,
a masterpiece.
I don't think I've liked any movie as much as In Bruges.
In Bruges is a masterpiece.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for everyone here at Real Buzz Takes. We are the Real Buzz crew. Keenan, take us out.
I wasn't masturbating.
This concludes our broadcast.
Sorry. Take it again. Keenan, take us out.
I wasn't masturbating.
We are the Real Buzz crew, and we review the best of the worst for you.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Or was I? All right.
Yeah, this audio.